This is bad. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the series analysis episode of the Seattle Baseline Podcast. My name is Julian Smith, and I'm with Alex Hong. Alex, I have no words. Like literally, as the intro said, this is bad. We just last series analysis episode, we talked about how it would be bad if we lost the series to the Rangers. We got swept by the Rangers. So, Alex, I'm not going to ask you how you feel because I know how you feel. I experienced that. Like I'm physically like feeling it right now, but I'd love to know your opinion on the Mariners and the rest of the season.
We said that if they had lost this series, we gotta start panicking. Yeah, they got swept. We're definitely panicking. I think every Mariners fan, unless you've been living under a rock, have realized the Mariners have one of the worst records in the league so far, even worse than teams like the Colorado Rockies, who, this is not going well. And there's several reasons why, but there's clearly one problem, which is the offense, right? Our pitching has been relatively pretty good, admittedly. I haven't had too many issues there. If we had this year's pitching and last year's offense, I'm sure this would have been a massive difference in the amount of wins we have. But yeah, we're wasting amazing starts, right? Last year, a lot of times we're like, oh, I wish Brian Wu was pitching today. Now we're wishing we don't care who's pitching. We just wish the offense shows up today, and it hasn't been showing up. This is something we definitely need to talk about. The amount of hits we got in this series, we got what? Like we got 2 hits in the first game, 8 hits in the second game, and another 2 hits in the last game. This is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah, the Mariners have been objectively bad hitting wise. It's unbelievable for a team that was supposed to be a balanced hitting and pitching team. Two hits. Who's going to win baseball games with two hits? No one. Seriously, no one. If those two hits are home runs, the amount of games you win, probably a losing record. You can't win with two hits. And so I want to talk about what are the Mariners doing then? The report came out recently that the Mariners have been slowing down their swing speed. And players like Julio Rodriguez, star player for the Mariners, slowing down their swing speed to maybe it's to try to be more contact heavy. Maybe it's to have more control on where that bat is crossing. You can make all the assumptions you want, but clearly it's not working. Why is it not working? If you have a slower bat speed, then the amount of time your bat gets from your shoulder to the ball is longer. Now you have to see the pitch a millisecond quicker than you used to. It brings me back to last year because Jorge Polanco had one of the best starts I've ever seen from a Mariner. And Jorge Polanco, coming off of his patellar tendon injury, he had a quicker bat speed than he used to. That's why he was good because he was so used to the slow bat speed that when he came back with a faster bat speed, he was ready to go. He was seeing those pitches like boom, boom, boom. With Julio Rodriguez and all the Mariners, honestly, the ones that have been swinging slower, now they have to adjust to swinging slower. It can't possibly be easy for these hitters. Somebody like Luis Arias, who has a high contact rate, doesn't hit high contact because his bat speed is slower. He has a very good vision and knows how to hit the ball. Even though he has a slower bat speed, he's able to maintain that. And so trying to match him with the slower bat speed, it's not the right move, especially for players like Julio Rodriguez. It's I completely disagree with the decision to, if it is a decision, with the decision to lower the bat speed. Completely disagree, 100%.
Look, at the end of the day, like I understand that in the cold weather, the bat speeds are going to be slower, but we're losing games in a dome stadium, like in Texas. Okay, this is that if like it's one thing, okay, Mariners can't hit in T-Mobile in April because of the weather and all that, even though the weather's been pretty good in Seattle, I can attest to that. But regardless of the case, right? We're not hitting in Texas. So I don't want to hear this argument, oh, it's because it's the weather or it's early on. That's had nothing to do with it. But yeah, the Mariners, if you look at their 25 bat speed versus their 26 bat speed, right, in years, they have one of the bigger drops in bat speed, one of the biggest. And our offense hasn't been doing well. So yeah, it's just I mean, at the end of the day, I think you gotta do whatever you're good at. If you're not good at hitting contact as well as you are with power. And there's some extreme examples, right? With some players, right? They really can't hit contact, but they're really good at power. If you slow them down on their sweet speed, then you're gonna not be as good on power. But there's no guarantee you're gonna be good at contact either. I mean, these players, like if you think of Suarez, Suarez will never ever be a contact hitter. That's not his game. If you slow down his bat speed, he's gonna be useless because he can't hit home runs. He also can't hit for contact either. So we're having these players not play towards their strength and play towards their weaknesses to accomplish what? Maybe they're trying to get a little better, contact hitting instead of just power hitting. But the argument we had for getting more contact, which is definitely something to do, was personnel. We got rid of Suarez, or we didn't bring him back. We brought Brendan Donovan. We had those changes to get more contact. Everyone probably agree we needed more contact hitting than power hitting comparatively to last year. But we shouldn't change how our players play to get to that. We should have changed the players we had, and we did do that, right? We got Donovan, Cole Young's improving, right, versus Polanco. So, that we had changes made to accomplish that. It should not be done by adjusting the current players we have.
Yeah, this whole Rangers series, the fact that you've had two hits in two of your games, that's rough. Like you can't win with that. And to what have you accomplished by slowing the bat speed down? You're not getting more hits. I mean, like it's one thing if you've been getting more hits and you've lost a little bit of power, that's fine. You're not getting any more hits. It's very clear. You've had two hits in two of your past three games. Something needs to change here. And Josh Naylor, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, maybe the WBC slowed them down a little bit with the pitchers that aren't major league pitchers throwing like 80 miles an hour fastball. That might be the case, but it's been it's been 20 games since that, including spring training games. They have to get back to speed. And if their bat speed is slowing down this much, then no wonder they're not able to adjust to the fastball because what you're seeing as 97 right now, or what was 97 before, probably feels like 99 now because your bat speed's that much slower and you can't get to the ball. So I just wanted to make that point clear because that's what I feel from from a Mariners podcaster perspective. I feel like if you slow down the bat speed, like you're not gonna make more contact.
I mean, we were down to, yeah, I mean, maybe figure it out, see how it goes, right? But clearly it's not working, right? It's one thing to have some ideas to test it out, but it's not working. So I think we need to go away from that for sure. I mean, this is just unacceptable because we're wasting these pitching performances, right? George Kirby, he was the only pitcher who pitched in that second game. And we lost that game. And I know he gave up 3 runs, but if you go 8 innings, 3 runs, you should be giving yourself a chance to win that game. And I know the offense played well, so that might not be as good of an example. Okay, sure, we lost one of those games, right? Gilbert had a pretty good start as well, right? He had 6 innings, 2 earned runs. The offense got 2 hits. We're not gonna win those games. Like it's just it's just frustrating to see these pitching performances that we know we would have loved to have last year be completely wasted. And it's just, and also another thing to the bat speed thing. If that goal is to strike out less, we are failing miserably. Like our players are striking out like crazy, regardless of, I mean, turning down the bat speed, sure, maybe it'll lead to more contact. Clearly not. It's leading to more strikeouts. So this is definitely not the strategy our players need to be having. And if that is actually the one implemented, they need to change from it immediately.
Yep. And pitching wise, amazing. You just mentioned Gilbert, great, solid. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. George Kirby goes 8 innings. Doesn't we we aren't able to get to the bottom of the ninth, so no other pitcher comes out after that. But George Kirby, 8 innings, 3 earned runs, quality start of quality starts. That was amazing. Brian Wu a little bit shaky today in the fifth inning. He ends up throwing 40 pitches in his fifth inning. I'd love to know what happened there, but it it clearly wasn't his night with the fifth there. All the other innings were really good, but he was giving up a lot of contact. Just just needs to get the strikeout after the first two strikes. Those were great. Just needs to get him out, whether that is a contact out, weak contact ground ball or a strikeout. He just needs to get him out. So a little bit off of his game today, but I'm sure Brian Wu will be good next start.
Yeah. One other thing, Victor Robles, he's on IL. So he's gonna be gone for a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's too serious. So that's why we called up Connor Joe, and then I guess in the last game he played for Naylor, who is definitely struggling as well. But yeah, that's kind of the stuff going on. So we'll see. It might be good to have Robles get some reps in the minor leagues to maybe get back to shape because he hadn't been looking too great this season.
Yep. And you know what? Time to go to the Astros series because this we said we're cooked after the Rangers series,
Which we are. I
which
kind
we
of
are.
agree.
Which I I know we are, but this one, if we can snatch this one, we're still in it. So the Astros series, there. This is a 4 game series. Mariners basically need to win all 4 of them already. This early in the season, they have to win all 4 of them. And by the way, even if we win all 4 of them, we won't be at a 500 record. So we just gotta like keep on winning. If the Mariners don't win 3 out of 4 of these games, it's gonna be pretty sad. But that said, I'm pretty um I think the Mariners are gonna be able to pull it off. Not just because of some like the Mariners already lost enough games, now it's time for them to win type of thing, but I think the Mariners have it. Reason being, one, pitching. Mariners have been really good with pitching. They've lost a bunch of games, but their pitching has been outstanding this season. It's been so much better than last season. And with that type of pitching, keeps us in the game. Second, Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor has, even though he had a slower start, he's been climbing up little by little. He's starting to look like the Josh Naylor that he was supposed to be. And so I have full faith that Josh Naylor can be that guy, be that 2025 Josh Naylor back in first base starting starting on Friday. So those two things, the rest of the lineup with Brendan Donovan, with Luke Raley and Cole Young. Cole Young's been pretty good. Just just needs to get back after that Rangers series. It was a tough series, but you can do better. And with all that combined, I have pretty good faith that the Mariners can win 3 out of 4 games against the Houston Astros this series.
Yeah, I mean, and they kind of need to. And it's hard to say, oh, this is a must-win series this early on. But if we're not winning these series and we keep losing every single one, then what confidence do I have that they're gonna eventually figure it out, right? If nothing's changing and like let's say a team is losing and you don't change anything, why would I think that team will stop losing? Like there's just nothing. I need to see something to where I can believe that this team can win. Because right now I don't see anything. I don't see how this team can win unless they make some changes. And if those changes don't occur, like to the approach of, when you hit, then nothing's gonna change. What, okay, like you said with the two hits, if we had two homers, then okay. But even then, two homers, that's it. That's only two runs. That's not even gonna give you that good of a chance to win the game. So yeah. You want to speak on Imai? He's the Japanese player. He's new, right? They have the colors on the schedule as well. So got some pitchers. They don't have Hunter Brown. They don't have Josh Hader. So they don't have a lot of their good guys. Jordan is back, right? This is a little bit of a different Astros team than last year. They lost some players, but then they got Alvarez back, and Alvarez is playing amazing like he always used to. So they got lots of threats on that team. This is definitely a pretty good team.
Yeah. So Tatsuya Imai is a pitcher that came from Japan to the Houston Astros this year. The scouting report is very unless they unless we go back to Japan, the MLB scouting report is pretty shallow on this guy. But speaking from what he's done in the majors so far and from his experience in Japan, first of all, big fastball, 99 mile per hour fastball. That's going to be his huge weapon. And then he has what's called a wrong way slider. The slider that moves like a changeup. It's slider usually moves to the other side of the arm. This one moves to the arm side. This one moves to the right instead of the left. So that's going to be a little bit tricky, especially for batters that haven't seen a wrong way slider before. It's going to be a really tricky situation because you're going to see, oh, it's a slider, it's going to move left, and then it's going to dive to the right. So that's going to be a tough one. But that's all there really is. He struggles with walks, not a huge command guy, but he does have those two pitches that he heavily relies on. And so those are the two pitches that we need to watch out for. He's gonna be throwing the slider quite often, and then he's gonna go fastball down and trick us because we're gonna think, oh, he's gonna let the slider go, but it's a fastball that ends up in the zone and strike three. That tends to happen with Imai. Take your walks. Take your walks. Like he is going to throw walks a lot. He doesn't throw many strikes. His stuff is good, but his command isn't there. And so with Tatsuya Imai, the strategy is to take the walks. And then if you find a pitch that you can hit, bam, just be selective with that pitch, hit it out of the ballpark, and we should be all good.
I agree with you on that part. The rest of our pitchers, right? They're pitching. I think they're going pretty well. I'm excited to see Hancock have his third start. I think he's been playing pretty well so far. We'll see if it's a fluke or if it continues, right? If it continues, it's really great. I mean, having too many pitchers is never a problem. But yeah, so we kind of mentioned a lot about the offensive struggles earlier. If those can get corrected, then I see our way to winning this series. If not, then I think this series is going to go very similar to the Rangers series where we struggle to score, have pretty good pitching performances, and losing close games. It seems to be the way the Mariners season has been going so far. So, yeah. This is not like an absolute must-win series, but if we do not win this series, then we don't have confidence in. We got to really, really think about how we want to approach this season because the
Yeah,
World Series is how a lot of Mariners fans approached it. And with a start like this, if it keeps going, we're concerned more about can we even make the playoffs rather than even winning the World Series.
Yeah, like us as fans, we're looking at this team as the World Series aspiration team. Us as fans, we're looking at this team right now and saying, "Hey, what's going on? We're not playing anywhere near as good as we thought we would." Guess what the players are thinking? Guess what Cole Young is thinking at the back end of the lineup? Guess what Brendan Donovan is thinking, knowing that, oh, well, I'm going to get a hit. We're going to have runners on the corners, and then Julio Rodriguez is going to strike out to a low and away slider again. It's like, what do you think they're thinking? There is no confidence. If they don't have confidence that the guys behind them can produce, they're not going to have confidence in themselves. There's no joy in like getting a base hit, and then immediately that base hit means nothing because your best hitter, your supposed best hitter, struck out. Are the guys that aren't hitting right now, that's what they're doing. Like mentally, you're the guys that are performing right now, they're getting crushed mentally because they're hitting, it means nothing to the team basically. And that's why you need players like Cal Raleigh. You need players like Josh Naylor, Julio Rodriguez to start producing, because you don't want your players to think that their hits don't matter, because they do. If you have a hit from Cole Young and JP Crawford and Brendan Donovan, and then Cal Raleigh hits a home run, those hits mean something. If he doesn't, well, maybe you scored one run from one of the three hits, but that's it. So that's that's what the Mariners need to improve on. Like they need to actually start hitting the baseball and just do what they've been doing for the past however many years. So yeah, the Mariners just need to hit baseballs. Pitching is great. I have full confidence we will have 3 out of 4 quality starts in the Astros series. It's just a matter of, can you score 3 or more runs? Because if you do, you win more than half the games in this season so far. So, Alex, you have anything?
No, I think you summarized it pretty well. Hopefully, we see some changes going in this series so we can get excited and have a better mood going into the next episode.
Seriously. Let us know what you think. Rant in the chat. This is like, because we ranted in the episode. The chat is a safe space. Let's rant. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our beautiful faces on YouTube. Check out our Instagram. And as always, go Mariners.
Go Mariners.